Hello, hello. We are going to look at in my macros plus. That's yesterday. Okay, start with a new day. And we're going to look at the Macros Inc. branded items a little bit further. Excuse me, well, I am having a little bit of congestion today, but it's no big deal. It's just going to be incorporated into the video. Okay. So what we're interested in here is using my Macros Inc. branded items. So if you go to the menu on the top left next to your profile picture, let me back out of there. And the tag where it says by brand, go here, click on that, open up the folder called Macros Inc. And on this brand, as you can see, we have all the alcohol here, but you have raw and cooked variations of things like, say, chicken breast, like if, so we have all kinds of entries here. And this is kind of the good thing about using Macros Inc. brand, because you can use a cooked version of this and it has incorporated the basic loss of water weight that they have, that these items have in cooking. So this grilled chicken breast plain at the top is going to be the cooked version. So if I had 113, which is 4 ounces, this is what we can use for a cooked version. Now if you come into the raw, there were on the cooked version, there were 34.5 grams of protein. The raw version is less. Well, why is that? Well, it's because on the raw, so actually let me back up. This is hard to explain, so I'm trying to get better at explaining it. On the cooked version, that's already shrunken. So I had put 113 grams in the cooked. Well, before this cooked, it weighed a lot heavier, probably by at least 20%. So let me go over here into my calculator. 113 times 0.2, actually 113 times 1.2. That'll give you the number that you're looking for. So before cooking, it probably weighed at least 135.6. So we'll say 136. Now let's go back in here and put 136. That's a little closer. So I'm just guessing that they probably, for chicken, are more closer to the 25% difference in weight, just because chicken cooks 165 degrees so that it is fully cooked. But like things like steak tend to cook a little less. Like if you want your steak to be medium rare or rare, it's gonna cook out less water. So anyway, I would say that this chicken weighed closer to 145, just based off of the math here. But at this moment, that's kind of, the point of this video here is that you have some already cooked versions that you can use. Like let's just put in some beef now. So most of these we have some beef smoked brisket. And then we have sirloin. These are all raw. We can say, type in sirloin. Yeah, that's all we've got for sirloin. But pasta, pasta and things like rice are things that really get people twisted up. You do have some cooked pasta here. The one at the very top is a cooked version. I actually use this all the time just out of convenience. But yeah, if you're in a pinch and you've forgotten to weigh your pasta raw or dry, you can just use the cooked version here. And now let's check for rice. We have some brown rice cooked, white rice cooked. So you've got these cooked versions that you can use. Now, it's a similar concept here when it comes to the cooked versus the dry. rice is going to gain water, obviously, and same thing with pasta. It's going to weigh a lot heavier after it's cooked. So what you'll find out in if you practice this is if you go ahead and weigh out a dry rice or a dry pasta for one serving, which is about usually 56 grams, just what it says on the package, then cook it and then weigh it after. And then you can then decide what, how much water was added to that pasta. So like if you mathematically here, this is just Jenny doing math. I kind of love math, so I'm sorry for that. But 56 grams, let's say that's what you weighed before cooking, and then let's say it weighed 233 after. I'm just going to clear this. So 233 is the cooked weight divided by the raw weight, which is 56, equals, it's 4 times heavier than it was before. So that's kind of a general rule. It's 4 times heavier than what it was when you cooked it, or when you had it raw. Sorry, when you had it raw. So that's probably confusing, but you can watch this video over and over until it kind of sticks. But going back here, keep in mind you've got some cooked versions of things in here that you can use that are not mixed up in all the other brands. We want to be inside the Macros Inc. brand when we're searching here, because this gets down to the searching rules that I've talked about in other videos. When you have all of these other brands, these entries could be incorrect. So we want to focus on using the Macros Inc. brand if you're going to use entries that already exist. Otherwise, we want to create your own. So, and we have different videos for that. So this is under the assumption that you know how to create your own entries, and that we are not using barcode scanner, and that we're searching properly, which is within the Macros Inc. brand. Because if you just do a search here again, and I'm not going to spend that much time on this, but if you do a search for just pasta from the front page, you just literally don't get anything, which is crazy. So this app does not like searching in that way. So hopefully this helps. Macros Inc. branded items, they're there for you to use, and it's completely acceptable, so use them. All right, that's the end of this one.